Wanted, night guard at Wess Market in Pay. 12 a.m., 6 a.m. shift, $21 hour. The ad struck me as odd. Why would a grocery store need a night guard when it was closed? But I needed the money, so 2 days later, after a phone interview with a man named Clive, I showed up for my first shift. The store was at the edge of a rundown strip mall. Empty, flickering street lamps and dusty windows gave it a neglected feel. I parked, and as I approached, a woman hurriedly passed by. "You must be Aaron, the night guard?" she asked breathlessly. "That's me," she nodded. Clive left instructions on the conveyor at Register 1, and without another word, she was gone. I stepped inside. The store was surprisingly clean, with bright lights and smooth jazz playing. I found the folded paper at the register and opened it. "Dear Aaron, welcome to the Wess family. Here's a list of rules to follow. Patrol the store every half hour. Do not go down aisle 7. Do not look down aisle 7. If you hear knocking from the freezers, ignore it. If you see a shopping cart left out, return it. If there's a pool of blood in the meat aisle, mop it up. Do not step in it. If you see a woman in the store, go to the break room. Don't make eye contact or call the police. If the music stops, go to the break room until it resumes. Do not end your shift early." I stared at the list. These rules were insane. But maybe it was a test to see if I could follow directions. I glanced at the camera overhead and decided to play along. My first patrol was uneventful until I reached the frozen food aisle and found a stray shopping cart. With a sigh, I pushed it back to the front of the store. But just as I reached the registers, I heard something, a soft sobbing. "Hello," I called out, a woman's voice pleading, "Help me." The sound echoed from aisle 7. I froze. The rules flashed in my mind. "Do not go down aisle 7. Come out of the aisle and I'll help you," I called. "Help me," the voice repeated, exactly the same as before. Something felt off. The voice sounded rehearsed, like a recording on loop. "I'll call for help," I shouted, but I had left my phone at the front of the store. I had no choice but to cross past aisle 7. As I took a step, the sobbing abruptly stopped, replaced by the sound of pounding footsteps. I bolted to the break room and locked the door. The hours crept by. Each patrol was filled with eerie silences, knocking from the freezers, and more carts left in strange places. And then on one patrol, I found a large pool of blood in the meat aisle. The rules said to clean it up, but I had to hurry. It was almost time for the next patrol. As I finished mopping, I noticed her. A woman, standing at the end of aisle 9. She wore a blue dress, her black hair cascading down her back. In her hand was a basket filled with raw meat, dripping blood. The rules were clear. If you see a woman, don't make eye contact. Go to the break room. I quickly backed away, but her footsteps echoed in time with mine. I sped up. So did she. My heart pounded as I turned a corner, only to be blocked by a tower of shopping carts. Click, click. Her heels tapped against the tile, getting closer. I darted down another aisle and skidded to a stop. I'd stepped into aisle 7. Before I could move, something unfolded from the floor, a grotesque, headless figure slowly crawling toward me. I ran for my life, barely making it to the break room. Inside, I checked the security feed. There she was, right outside the door, staring into the camera. Her eyes, pure white and veined, sent chills down my spine. I covered my face, praying she wouldn't come inside. Eventually, she left. By 6 a.m., I was exhausted but alive. The sunrise filled the parking lot, and employees began arriving. I fled the store, eager to leave this nightmare behind. But as I drove away, the radio clicked on. The smooth jazz from the store filled the car. My stomach dropped. Maybe I wasn't free after all.